I think a couple of things. One is obviously the ground position. It's close to our Alice River project, so logistics and infrastructure we've got in place in northern Queensland. We know the area. And secondly is the number and the frequency of gold and antimony results, and high grade gold and antimony results has already been found at surface, and the fact that over the past sort of 30 to 40 years there's been very little to no systematic exploration, so the potential for discovery and the upside is immense. And we've seen now that it's an antimony province, or an emerging antimony province, with discoveries next door with Rockaby, and then you have also Trigora down the road, which is a producing gold mine late in the early 2000s. So, it's an area which has got the potential for good discovery of high grade gold and antimony deposits. The high-grade rock is really just confirming that the system is pregnant. It's showing that there is some of the widths of antimony are up to 2 to 3 meters of almost solid antimony in places, and so it does give us a very early indication that the area is well endowed with antimony and gold. There's a quartz antimony gold hosted lodes. They're narrow, mostly between 2 and 3 meters in width, but the important thing is that they're going to have enough metal in them to become economically viable. And with high grades of gold up to 3 ounces in rock chips and antimony up to 60%, that basically just gives us indication that we're onto an asset which has got potential to deliver very high grade numbers. Yeah, okay. How does it complement our existing portfolio? It's in the same area. We are a Queensland focused company. We do have people and assets 2.5 hours just up the road at our Alice River project, which we are currently drilling, and is looking like it's going it's getting bigger and bigger every time we drill a hole in it. So we've got people mobilised in this area. We've got our infrastructure. We've got camps, and we've got vehicles, and we've got what we need basically for us to get exploration underway straight away at this asset. So it's in that way it does complement it. What our investors can hope to hear from us over the next few months is we're going to start regional exploration almost immediately, probably by the end of this month. We're just finishing off an aircore program here at Alice River, and an RC, initial RC, on 13,000 meter RC program. We'll be finishing up fairly shortly. So before we start testing our white line asset here at Alice River, we're going to get back on the ground down at St. George and do first pass exploration, which will basically be regional mapping, rock chip sampling, identification of any sort of veins sticking out the ground, and then commence with a geophysical program. And by the end of the year, hopefully our first our maiden RC drill program into probably the St. George area, which already has heritage clearance. So a lot of things happening. It's something that you can't ignore. I think at the moment it's one of these, as I always say, it's different this time. I think, we don't know how long this boom in antimony is going to last, but certainly from the available literature and I guess research that's been done so far, it looks as though there is a systematic sort of or a strategic deficit in the amount of supply and the resources, and people haven't been looking for antimony over the last few years. So there's not been any additional discoveries in the space. I think it complements gold. It complements gold well, and it's not like it's not going to become a primary asset for Pacgold. We're always going to be gold focused, but it offers an opportunity for us to capitalize on a very buoyant market. And I think, if we can delineate a high grade resource in antimony, then it will obviously benefit our shareholders in the short term. And there are people looking to offtake antimony assets all the time at the moment. So securing supply is obviously key. We've seen that most of the supply comes out of China, and obviously the rhetoric around that is, there want to be some Western sourced supply, which is basically secured. And obviously with the offtake, the uses of antimony being utilised in defence, utilised in alloys, etc., its demand is definitely not looking like it's going to wane anytime soon. So even at prices a lot lower than what we are at the moment, we can still see sustainable assets drilled off.